So this video is about the 3 ways to sell coaching programs, your courses, and any other info products that you might be trying to sell. I've used the tactics in this video to help my clients generate 3 6-figure launches, and I've lost count of the number of 5-figure launches that I've worked on. Just last month, I helped one of my clients. We took a course that she had made 0 sales on in over 6 months. And I said, hey, we're going to raise the price on this soon. If you want it for $189, this is your last chance because it's going up to $250. And in 1 week, we generated $10,000 worth of sales for this course. I'm going to share with you a lot of the kind of methodologies and strategies in this video to do that yourself. And one thing is you're already using one of these 3 ways to sell your coaching program or your course or whatever you're trying to sell. You might not realize it, and if you're not making as many sales as you'd like to, then you may either be using the wrong way of selling your program, or it might be the right way to sell your program and you're just kind of not doing it correctly. And then kind of the subtitle of this video is like why selling info products is like selling luxury handbags. Because if you pay attention to the tactics just the marketing tactics that your favorite guru uses, that Amy Porterfield uses, Ramit Sethi uses, they're going to be very similar in a lot of ways to the things that luxury brands like Louis Vuitton do to sell their products. So anyways, let's get into it. The number one way that you can sell your info products is you can just have evergreen products, right? You can say, this is what I have for sale. If you want to buy it, here's the link, here's the sales page, here's the checkout page. Go get it. And it's kind of, you post your content and then a few sales trickle in. You don't have to sell, but the problem is if you're not selling, you're going to make fewer sales, right? You feel less salesy, but in the long run, you kind of like nobody buys, right? And one thing that's very important to understand about any kind of, especially really high ticket programs, is people only buy them. For the most part, they only buy them when there's some sort of urgent reason to, right? Because it's a lot of money. If you're buying a course for $300 or a coaching program for $3,000, that's a big purchase that really hits you in the wallet. And people will always kind of kick the can down the road, right? They'll be very afraid of doing it. They'll say like, maybe I'll do it next month, maybe I'll do it the month after. And then they just kind of never end up doing it, right? Like next month they say, oh, I'll do it next month. And then next month comes around and they'll be like, oh, I'll do it next month. And so if there's no scarcity, there's no urgency, there's no reason to buy right now, then nobody will buy. And so it's very important to be ethically and effectively creating real urgency. And this approach works. The evergreen approach can work. It works if you have extremely decisive prospects who they know what they want. They don't want to sit around waiting. They're not the types of people that kick the can down the road. The problem is there aren't really that many of these. Like most people do kick the can down the road. That's just kind of the dark reality of the business that we're in, and we have to deal with it. But there are people out there who, there's a course that they want to buy, they'll just buy it. They won't wait for a discount. They won't kind of procrastinate it. They'll just snap it right up. And if you kind of already have an established business, this can work really well for you. If you have a lot of brand credibility. It's best for people who don't want to do a ton of, they don't want to have kind of the feast or famine cycle of a launch and having one season where they work really hard and get all this marketing stuff in place, and then the launch is over, they get their big windfall of revenue, and then that's their revenue for the year. If you just want sales to kind of trickle in and work with the people that you like, this approach might be for you, especially probably only if you have an already established business. An example of someone who does this really well is Louisa Joe. She's one of my favorite influencers in the coaching space. And she used to do launches. She used to have a couple big launches a year, and she would make all her money during those launches. And she said, this is a lot of work. This isn't really how I want to be living my life. I would much rather, sales just trickle in kind of when they come, and I don't have to do as much work. I can just write one email a day and make a YouTube video every week, and then people kind of buy when they're ready. And that works really well for her. But if she was trying to scale her business instead of just live the lifestyle that she wants to live, I don't think that she would be taking that approach. And I don't recommend this for you unless you are already making a lot of money and you're focused less on growth and more on lifestyle. And it also works really well for her because she's very smart and her audience is very smart and they tend to be the most driven people. She tends to attract the people who are most no nonsense. If that's not your audience, this probably isn't going to work for you. So the number two way to sell a coaching program, course, any info product is to do launches. The benefit of doing, and by a launch, I mostly just mean any kind of limited time offer. I'll get more in number three into kind of the other way to do this. With launches, let's just say a launch is anything where you say this course is only open at for this time, or there's some sort of special offer around when you open the program or when you release the program for the first time. Basically, like, hey, we're opening this, so you get in now, right? Either you get in now for a discount or like this is the only chance that you have to get it. And the benefit of this is you'll make a lot more sales, right? And it also, like, this goes back to the Louis Vuitton thing, right? If Louis Vuitton, they have their kind of evergreen products that they sell. I mean, you can just go to the store and buy them, but they also do a lot of like drops and launches with big name celebrities. They'll create some sort of product, and this is kind of their way of getting people who are sort of on the fence and they're tire kickers, like, oh my God, if I want this, I have to buy it right now, right? There's kind of a frenzy when you have urgency. So if you do a launch, paradoxically, you'll make a lot more sales if you only open up your program for a very limited window than if it's always open. And then the big problem with doing your whole business on launches is that your business kind of starts to depend on them, right? Like if people are waiting around for some sort of special offer, then they're not going to buy the evergreen thing. They're not going to you're going to have this kind of cycle where all your revenue comes at once and you're doing all this work during launch season. And some people don't like that. An example of somebody who did this really well is Justin Goff, who is an influencer he did a lot of stuff about email marketing and building email lists. And he would kind of do one live training every single month. Sometimes it would be about how to write emails for maximum profit. Sometimes it's about like how to build your email list. Just kind of new ways to talk about like how to do email marketing better. And because it was a live thing, he would do a promotion for it running up to the deadline of like, hey, this is when I'm doing the live thing. So there was this built-in scarcity and urgency, like if you don't join the live call or at least sign up by the live call and get the recording, you're not going to get this. And he would just pick a new topic every month and do a new training every single month on whatever that topic was. Now, your best prospects, they're always kind of on the fence. You get them off the fence by creating hype, scarcity, and urgency, right? People, otherwise they kick the can. I think I probably beat that point in quite a bit during this video, but you need something to convince people to sign up now rather than keep procrastinating. And then number three is you can kind of combine both approaches, right? You have a program that's open. Anybody who wants to can just come in and buy it whenever they want to. And instead of creating urgency by only opening it every now and then, you create urgency by having some sort of a special offer, right? Like, hey, join this program right now, and we'll throw in, a discount, or you'll get this course for free, or you'll get a free one-on-one call with me, or anything of that nature. And I would say this is the right approach for most businesses. Because you get kind of the best of both worlds, right? Like you're not only making your money when you open your program, sales, they come in a little bit at a time, but you also get the benefits of doing special offers and getting a boatload of sales at once. And one way to do number three is you can only do special offers to your email list, right? There's a lot of people that they'll have a bunch of Instagram content or YouTube content, and people will binge watch those and be like, I want to join your program, and then they'll fill out the book a call link and book a call. And then if they get on the email list, they don't do special offers on social media at all, but if they get on the email list, then they send them special offers, right? Because if somebody's on the email list, they're kind of closer to buying and they just need like a little bit of a nudge. So that's one way that you could approach doing special offers if that fits with your brand. So the way you think about it is you have to kind of decide what kind of brand you are, right? Are you the sort of brand that does sales? Are you the sort of brand that does special offers? like Louis Vuitton never runs sales, they never discount their products, right? They will literally destroy their excess merchandise instead of run a sale in order to keep their kind of mystique and to not train the people that their fans to wait for discounts, right? Because the more often you run special offers, the better your special offers are, and the more special offers you'll make more special offer sales, but you won't make as many non-special offer full price sales, right? So, and it's usually worth it for most business. Like Louis Vuitton is the exception that never runs sales. Like most clothing brands do run sales. You will make more money if you run the occasional sale, but just know that you are paying a price every time you run a sale, and there is I don't want to say damage to your brand, but you set a different expectation when you run sales. That's especially true with discounts. That's why Louis Vuitton, they will do special product drops where they have a limited time product, but they do not discount. There are a few people in the actually probably more than a few who they just say I'll never discount my courses, I'll never discount my coaching program. You have to pay full price if you want it. When you do the discounts wrong, they hurt your kind of luxury positioning. They hurt your positioning as an expert, right? Like, can you imagine? I mean, like Tony Robbins, right? Like, if you were going to work one-on-one with Tony Robbins only has so much time, so he can't work one-on-one with everybody. There's a lot of people that want to work one-on-one with him. He has no reason to offer a discount, right? So when you offer a discount for, it depends on what you offer. Like these things are so context dependent. But if you're offering a discount for something like your one-on-one coaching, then that kind of says like, hey, I don't value my time as much. And then people wonder, well, if they don't value their time that much, are they really an expert? But if you know how to do discounts, if you do them properly, they do not kill your luxury position. And I say for most businesses, one promo a month is usually the sweet spot. I kind of like the Justin Goff approach of you have one thing that you do every single month. Sometimes it's a discount, but usually it's not. Usually it's some bundle or a special offer or a new thing that you're promoting. And you have to decide which one is right for your business. Another note here is like, like not every business should be doing discounts, but every business should be doing promotions of some sort, right? So Louis Vuitton, they will still do, collabs with celebrities where they have a limited time product and you got to go to the store and buy it now before it's gone forever. If you have an excuse to do something, do it, right? Like it's very rare that you shouldn't at least have some sort of Black Friday promotion, even if it doesn't involve having a discount. It can involve it, like Black Friday. If you're ever going to have a discount, Black Friday is the time to do it. But if you have an excuse to do some sort of launch, do a launch, right? It's just it's basically free money if you create some sort of hype out of whatever event you can. And then think about what kind of business you want to have and what kind of prospects you want to attract. If you have an established coaching business already, you're looking to kind of cut back on your hours, cut back on the amount of time you spend thinking about marketing. You can just say, hey, here's my evergreen call link, and anytime you want, come book a call with me. No scarcity, no hustle tactics, but kind of be realistic about what this is going to mean for your business. You might not be able to pull this off if you have a small audience, or if you're not kind of at the income level that you'd want to be at yet. If you want me to run these promos for you, right? If you're looking to cut back on your hours, but you don't want to give up all the sales of doing a launch, right? Or if you just want to make more sales, I can run these promos for you. I can use my 6 years experience in marketing info products to sell info products for you. There's a link in the description, theoseeds.com/promos. And then working with me is 99% hands off and 100% risk free. And like, what does that mean? Well, it's 99% hands off because I do everything. There will be like a little thing here and there that I'll need to ask you for, like, hey, can you send me, your testimonials folder, or hey, can you look at the copy and just make sure that this is your brand voice, et cetera, et cetera. But for the most part, I'm doing everything, right? Like I'm writing the emails, I'm scheduling them, I'm doing all the strategy, I'm doing all the planning. You just kind of have to do a few admin things here and there. I have clients where they start working with me, and it takes them about an hour a month or so. And it's 100% risk-free because I do it all on commission. right? So usually I'll just take 20% of whatever revenue I bring you, and you get to keep the other 80%. You don't have to do any work. I do all the work. You don't have to take any risk. I don't ask for any money up front. It's just whatever sales I make, you keep 80% and you give me 20%. So if that sounds interesting to you, click the link in the description, and I will look forward to meeting with you. Anyways, take care and have a great day.